Welcome to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and the campus of the University of Alabama inside Rhodes Softball Stadium as we get set for the first of two games today. The NCAA Softball Regionals presented by Capital One, and welcome to the show, Belmont, the Missouri Valley champs, making their first ever NCAA appearance, taking on the veterans from Virginia Tech. She's ahead of Bloom 1-2.
To that point, Pam, I think it's so important that she does get back in the circle to try to erase what happened in Boston. That was not a typical outing for her, but she struggled to find the plate. She threw 28 pitches, only 10 of them were for strikes.
And we talked to her.
We have a contact out of the box with about runners out, strike three.
So NCO has been calling at third base this year, a position she'd never played before.
Well, because she is so good with such a high softball IQ, she steps in, makes in-game adjustments quickly without the coach even needing to make those conversations happen.
Lemley off to a brilliant start.
Blades and up for National Player of the Year.
ACC Player of the Year, Emma Lemley, with a couple of strikeouts as they go down in order.
And now in the first inning, still trying to extend to find where the corners of the zone will be called.
And now the 2-2. Got her with her money pitch.
It's so important to tunnel well.
Full count. Lynch lifts it into right field, and on a full count pitch, the freshman puts Virginia Tech on top.
How do you hit behind a power hitter like Corey McMillan? That's how. Knowing that Jordan Lynch has not had to be in this position for very long. With the last conference series against Florida State, their everyday first baseman, Michelle Chatfield, went down with an injury, who had been hitting behind McMillan and protecting her all season long. Jordan Lynch, though, has done such a masterful job of coming into this difficult position for the Hokies. Backs up McMillan.
Sends that into center, coming on and making the nice sliding catch. Out there is Bay Enzio. There's count now for Aldridge. Easy one for Enzio, who is positioned nicely in front of the track, but Jordan Lynch. Greeley to Castine. First time they put a ball in play.
When you talk about gold day for their regional, I think it's
like
5
every time?
or 7, like literally every time. Nope, won their conference tournament, got the AQ, and find their way heading north just a little bit up to UCLA.
Lemley now with 4 strikeouts, facing 5 batters.
For the barrel.
Now the 1-2. Lifted into center field. Bree Peck, who is an excellent softball player, grabs it. Another strikeout for Lemley. Tech up 1-0.
We called one of her games this year where she had 3 at-bats, 3 home runs against Charlotte.
Sends that into the air, playable for Barnes for the first out. And Maya Johnson in the win to medical school, and it does have to be managed. Trinity Martin on the ground, played by Hughes. And there are certain things that are called flares, where it can literally flare up. We use her final year of eligibility and come back and pitch next year.
Yeah, wants to work at Vandy Children's Hospital and study pediatric critical care.
That Leggett blooper falls in front of Enzio for a 2-out single.
Not unexpectedly when Rachel Castine went down with a broken wrist.
Yeah, very early in the season, Rose strikes out to Strand Leggett over at second. Only the second strikeout. Like have Holmes and Brentwood. But Cockrell lifts one. Lynch playing third. Everybody's got the shades on over there on the left side of the infield and outfield. That's the first out.
If you think about what this team has had to go through in the past 2 weekends, last weekend in Boston, they played in 40 degrees. Well, and the rise ball is just one of those pitches that if you can ride it out of the zone against a free swinging team, you're going to get a lot of strikeouts, a lot of mishits, a lot of foul balls. And another one for Emma Lemley.
180 strikeouts coming in, now has 185. And Johnson now with 357. Hitting the short right field. Corey McMillan tracked it all the way. First time through the lineup. Another 3-2. That one is handled by the second baseman, Cockrell.
Move up a strike on the inside.
Pitch number 7, pardon me, Jen. One out walk to McMillan. Taking off and stealing second, McMillan, who actually leads Virginia Tech in steals this year.
Oh, and did we mention that she's...
Right up the middle, McMillan, who stole second, waved in for the second run of the game. So Lynch with both RBIs.
So important to be able to put a runner in scoring position. You're not going to hit home runs in every at bat, but if you can put the ball in the outfield, McMillan has enough speed to score from second. Pretty easy advancement for her as she coasted around third base. And what a great at bat for Jordan Lynch after the home run in the first inning. Puts the ball on the ground right back up the middle.
Yeager sends it into right center. Enzio chases. It's off the top of the wall. Lynch had to hesitate because she didn't know if it would be caught, but she's able to score all the way from first. Yeager with the RBI triple.
And the perfect bounce off the wall gives Yeager her first triple of the year. This ball about 2 feet from being another home run for Yeager. Because of where it hits on the wall and the way that NCO played it off the wall, not only does Virginia Tech play another run, just a little bit.
1-2 pitch. Got her. And I said I've struck her out before, and she got her there with a little off-speed. Motions in check. That mentioned that was most likely the reason for the visit in the circle. Johnson very emotional. That's playable, and Hughes ends the inning, but another home run, this time a 2-run shot by Aldridge.
4 runs. The third inning, 30 more thrown by Johnson an inning ago, and you're looking for pitch counts that stay below 14 or 15 pitches to be successful in a game.
Castine has to charge. Nice play. What do you think, second baseman?
Of course, that was a beautiful play. Well above the knees.
Hughes chops it. Castine gets it over to Rose, and they don't get the double play, but the lead runner, Spindler, is out.
And that ball...
We will let out a little bit of a primal scream when she lets go of the ball.
It's not a little bit.
Yes, we can hear it. Not enhanced by microphones, and that got away from Yeager, so Hughes gets of the year for Emma. Popped up. Great play by Yeager, who very quickly got rid of her mask. The runner is stranded. Alabama and Jackson State, the SWAC champs, coming up next. And the Jackson State team, as Leggett goes after the high Johnson pitch and strikes out, the Jackson State team is in dead center field. That's sent into right field. Barnes grabs it in foul territory for the second out of the fourth. Fair territory, she grabbed.
More than 13 times that it's been done, but it's only been done by 13 women. Some of the names on that list doing it more than once. Jocelyn Allo, Lauren Chamberlain. Huge strikeout, though, against Castine. We talked about how that was going to be a pivot.
Tournament from the ACC. Hit over Lynch, who was drawn in at third, and that is the first base hit for Belmont, a leadoff single for Barnes in the fifth. For the second time through the order, starting in the last inning. Lemley hit Balsiger, so the first two Bruins get on.
From her often, and with that, Yeager has to be so good on her feet to keep it in front.
Another strikeout for Lemley, her sixth. Barnes at second, Balsiger over at first, a single and a hit by pitch respectively. And Bloom goes up and can't catch up.
For the second time today.
One with the leadoff hitter NCAA on deck. And that's too high. The bases are loaded for NCAA.
And with NCO coming to the plate, dramatic pitchers in the circle. A lot of times you see very stoic personalities, but Lemley will give you a little something.
1-2, and after a single and a hit by pitch, and then ultimately.
And that's exactly what Pete Demore was able to do.
Just got under the 100th pitch thrown by Johnson. McMillan retired to start the fifth. But yeah, and she admitted it. She's a totally different player. Jordan Lynch, what a day she has had. A couple of RBIs, a home run, and a single. Hits that one down the line. And she is retired by Hughes.
One of those huge arms for Texas A&M, doing such a good job for them.
Yeager watches it go by. Johnson's in a groove now. But the bats need to get going for Belmont as they trail 5-0. There's 9 strikeouts now for Lemley. NCAA tournament ever. 1-2. Hughes goes after it, sends it into center field, but playable. Peck, a couple of feet in front of the track.
Man,
the outfield.
MVC.
Sent it into short right. McMillan comes in to squeeze it for the final out of the sixth. Lemley still with a one-hitter as we go to the bottom of the sixth. By 5-0, they go to the pen. And Aldridge greets Middleton with a leadoff single here in.
Yeah, she was dealing that game. She has 54 career home runs. Maybe the most crazy part about that stat is that it's taken her 4 years to get to that number. Corey McMillan has 51 in just 2 seasons.
Two pitches popped up and playable for the shortstop Dolecki. Infield fly rule was put into effect. Got her looking, so 2 straight outs for 2-2, 2 out, 2 on. Mazzarone goes down swinging. Good job by the freshman Middleton. Only 15 innings coming in. The first 2 got on, and then
Manipulates her speeds with both the changeup and the off-speed drop.
a leadoff walk for Barnes in the 7th. A player, Nyjah Kennedy, that bounces in, and still, even with the bounce, Yeager was able to get on it and get a pretty good throw down, but not in time to get Barnes on the wild pitch.
Well, that was an impressive attack of that pitch in the
into foul territory. Lynch for the first out.
And people in the circle, but she is being tasked with catching very different pitchers with different movement.
Cockrell strikes out for 6 with runners in scoring position today with 4 strikeouts. And an opportunity for Rose to end it. And she does. It was dropped over there by Leggett at first, but the umpire said that she had control of it before it popped out of her glove. And Virginia Tech and Emma Lemley, big smile on her face, they get the shutout.
Her 4th win in the postseason. Emma Lemley, a big day for her in the circle, gets the Hokies into the winner's bracket here in the Tuscaloosa Regional.
6 straight times they have won their opening round game, and a tough loss for Maya Johnson, just her 5th loss on the season. Johnson went 5 innings, gave up 5 runs, all of them earned, but there were 2 home runs that really put this away.